The other day, I showed you guys about the different character builds, checking what's going on, disk drives, recommendations, all the stuff that's in game. Everything that we as guide makers, I'm not a guide maker, by the way, but I just make guides. Little bit of a nuance there, but anyway, everything that we tell you guys about Zenless Zone Zero, how to build a character, how to play a character, the best tools for a character, the best disk drives, weapons, whatever, all of that stuff is actually in game. And if we take this a step further, eventually, hoping, Zenless is going to be able to include this to where we can actually input user information into the game so that you guys have a much better understanding of what's going on day one, negative day one, negative day three, whatever the case may be. Point being is that it's in the game. I mentioned in that same video that there was something else I wanted to tell you guys that I think a lot more players should be able to use. And I say that because over on Hoyo Lab at the time of me checking that, less than 30 or 35% of the player base actually completed or even got halfway through whatever these tutorials are going to be. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. And that thing is, honestly, I had like a whole, like in my head, I'm like, oh, we're going to transition and do this. And like current me knows that future me isn't going to do that. So inside of the game, if we're over here, I'll take you guys exactly to where it is, just like I did that. Now, I just showed my boy Chaotic this because TVs are gone from the game for him and he's excited to get back into the game, but he's missed out on essentially since day one. You know, week one, he dropped the game or something like that. Now he's back and he's got a lot of catching up to do. I think this particular game mode, and if you don't know where I am, I'm inside of the HIA. You just saw me teleport. If you were to walk into the HIA, you can come over here, and this guy's name is Mr. Hello. Mr. Hello, some of you might be familiar with Mr. Hello, right? Now, this was something that you might have like blitzed through in the game, but it's something that's very important. Why? Now I can show you exactly what's happening here. Tactics course result, experienced earned through this course, 6,000. Level advancement obtained from this course, 1 to 10. I just leveled up both Coleta and Harumasa to level 10 for free. Now I'm saying this because this is something that you can put any character through, right? I just happen to get these characters. We lost a 50-50 to Coleta, so we're doing that. But you can see I can keep pumping these characters in here. All I have to do is make sure that these characters are completed. So I'm gonna put the same thing. I'm gonna put Coleta back in here. Let me make sure that she is able to, she's not. All right, so we're gonna promote her. Boom. And now I'm gonna put her back in and she's gonna get right back to work. I'm gonna do the same thing for Harumasa. We're gonna promote him. Boom. And we're gonna put him right back to work. Okay. And this is a way to, especially for someone like me that's lazy, right? I kind of forget to log into every single game because there's a lot of gotchas. Yeah. But doing this, I can passively level up my characters. So you don't have to waste resources leveling up all the characters. The reason that's so important is because resources in this game, leveling up characters in this game, disk drive, skills, especially, you know, the traces, that crap is expensive, like too expensive, right? But I want to point out everything else about it. This particular thing in the game, the HIA training, Mr. Hello, this teaches you some of the stuff that I talk about, like the nitty gritty things, the tech or whatever. This whole course teaches you why everything is important. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a good thing and a bad thing. Let me explain. It's good because it's in the game and it teaches you everything you need to know from a base to intermediate, like slight advanced level about Zenless Zone Zero. The combat, whatever tech may be there that the game or the devs are aware of, the knowledge behind why certain mechanics work the way they do, the way that disorder or elements work, how they can help you, how they have an advantage versus, like, some of you guys may not know this, right? Burn or fire has an inherent advantage against, I want to say ether, and I also want to say humans, but I could be wrong on the ether part, right? But point being is that each element, just like in Pokemon or other RPGs, has a certain advantage or disadvantage against some of the enemies in the game. And this is going to entice you to be like, okay, cool. Well, I know that if I'm fighting a human, they're more resistant to ice, right? Hypothetically. So even though I could use this ice character, now I understand why something that should have froze him with this guaranteed freeze combo that I've been working on since day one, I understand now why it's not freezing him in one combo, but now it takes two. It's because he's naturally resistant to being frozen. But if I do a burn, he's more, he takes more damage. He stays burned longer. All these different things are packed into all of these courses right here. The tactics course, I just showed you guys that, right? This goes all the way up to tactics course 6. Now, how this works, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm running off of like bean juice right now. The way that these tactics course work is that they have a set amount of experience points inside of the course. Once that runs out, you cannot use the course anymore, it's gone. And because of that, what ends up happening is each course unlocks after a certain period of you going through it, right? And these are super important for you to understand, because all of this, none of this is bullshit. You would think that like, okay, let me go back. Endurance combat course. You would think something like this is bullshit, but it's explaining to you what's going on with the decibel rate, the decibel regeneration rate. It's teaching you like how to not get hit. Some of these courses are straight up like, just don't get hit. Obviously, they're not going to do that for everything, right? But it's telling you more along the lines of what's going on. All this is important. I love this. I love that this is in the game. I love that we have this plus the recommendation builds from the previous video that I showed you guys as well, right? Stuff like this is how you get better at the game, how you understand more of the game. This in combination with using training mode is how you get better at the game. And I will say this, just like I say all the time, you don't have to do any of this, right? Like if you don't want to get better at it, then you don't have to do it. It is what it is. Focus defense course, and it's going to teach you about defense. Don't get hit, right? Or maybe focus on using shields. How do shields work? You know, actually we can read it. When an agent attacks, hits an enemy, the entire squad gains a shield, with the max shield being 50% of the agent's max HP. When an agent's defensive assist hits an enemy, 50% of the current shield value would be expended to deal additional days. When an agent has a shield, the agent's anti-interrupt level is increased. Agents deal 40% increased damage to stunned enemies. When there are at least 2 Belobog heavy infantry agents in your squad, this effect increases by an additional 40%. This is teaching you about team building and why certain characters want certain passives, which is the thing at the bottom here. This is telling you why shields can or are important in the game, because of what they stop. They tell you about the anti-interrupt level, which is how you get out certain attacks or combos without getting blown back. They tell you about the defensive assist. Now, some of this stuff is super extra though, right? Like it does 50% of your shield as additional damage. This is just to make you feel better. It's a positive feedback. Like, oh, I have a shield. Okay, I got hit. Okay, well, this happens. Or I have a shield. I hit the enemy. Okay, I get a reward instead of them getting a reward, right? It's little stuff like that that works out in your favor. All of this stuff is great. You just want to sit down and do it. It doesn't take you anything, guys, to come through here and do all of this stuff and just understand it. Don't treat this like, if I were to give a recommendation, I would not treat this as something that you have to rush through. I just need to get this out of the way, knock it out so that I can get all the way up here to Tactics Course 3 just to get some free experience points. No, come in here, sit down and understand why these things are happening the way they do. Ask questions, get with your homies, ask creators questions in the Discord. I don't care what you do. The point being is just do it, right? In order to understand. The next thing is, again, you can come in here and literally just go straight into training mode. Once you get inside of training mode, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want, right? I know we've been showing off Miyabi a lot lately. We can show off, well, I'm not gonna show anything off to be fair, but I'm just gonna explain that you can actually do these things in the game with whatever it is that's going on. Take this stuff into practice and learn. It doesn't take you anything to do that, bro. And the reason I'm saying this is because what is it? Tower? It's Tower. I know it's Tower. All right. Tower was the first instance of a lot of the community complaining about so many things going on with, you know, it being hard. Deadly Assault, which I haven't activated on my account yet because we were doing that for the CE server, so I just haven't gone out of mode to do that. But Deadly Assault is another one where a lot of you guys, there's a whole Reddit thread on it, which like the Reddit thread made me laugh because no shot to the guy on Reddit, but the guy has an I believe he said an M2 Jane, has an M2 Jane and something else on the team. M2 Jane, Seth, and something else. But like the third character is the one that has all the points. When you clear something in Shiyu, or when you actually, you know, I tell you what, I'll show you right now. This whole thing is live. I gotta clear Shiyu anyway. We're gonna clear Shiyu 3. Okay, so what is they're weak to electric, and then the second side is weak to ice, so it doesn't matter what my level is right now. We're gonna go with my Jane team for the electric side, and then we're gonna do Ellen side for the second side. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. You're gonna get a rating at the end of everything that you do that pertains to combat. You're going to get a rating, not the S rank or not the A rank. That's not the number that you should be paying, or the letter. That's not the letter you should be paying attention to. I'm going to show you the difference between me playing only Jane on the team and then me playing something else on the team, right? If I'm just playing Jane, you guys are going to see it. Now this thing, I actually can't just play Jane unless I just outright kill it. Can I kill you? Yeah, you might be able to get clapped up real quick, buddy. He might be able to get clapped up, right? So if we just play Jane, because what I'm trying to do is stop him from putting up the electric shields so that I don't have to swap out. I lied. We can't even get that off, bro. We have to stun him. Okay, so for the sake of this, I'm just gonna pop the shield. All right, we're gonna pop the shield. There we go. And he's dead. Because I didn't want to deal with that. All right, I didn't want to deal with that any more than I had to. So he's a goner now. Now I'm gonna show you guys the difference when you're playing with the team. And this is important because the game is telling you whether or not you suck. And I don't say that in a mean way, right? I'm saying this in a way of like, you can absolutely see what's going on. Boom. So we have some Ellen gameplay. All right, bet. We're going to throw Rena out there. We're going to get this action. We're going to do this. Don't even need that. Get Rena back out there. Okay. And then Ellen. Ooh, nice block, big dog. There we go. All right, now we go into Lycan. We're going to utilize some Lycan stuff, okay?
No worries, boss.
My boy didn't get to come out and do anything. Give me that freeze. Thank you. We're going to use her ult. Gonna go on Arena. Give me more of this. And we're just bullying him down. Lycan. There's that. All right, going to Ellen. He's frozen. We're gonna go on Arena. Go back into Ellen. Now my goal is to take advantage of the fact that he has, and we're gonna get that freeze. Got it. Nice. We got the freeze. He's frozen for a couple of seconds. Bringing Rena out here so we can get that. Boom. Kill. Just like that. He's not dead. Okay, bro. Relax. There we go. There we go. Now we're going to swap to Lycan. Give Lycan a little bit of time. There's a freeze. We'll take that. We will absolutely take that. Once again, give him some time. There we go. I want my boy Lycan to get these stuns. Boom. Just like that. We're going to come in here, do this. Drop that. She's back out here. Wonderful. Wonderful. There we go. Give me the stun. Oh, I didn't get it. It's okay. We have ult. We're going to pop ult with Lycan. All right. Playing super sloppy just so that I could show you guys what we have here. Is that a freeze? That is definitely a freeze. I want to kill everybody on the field. Oh, my goodness. Wonderful. And then he's going to get frozen too. Give me that dodge. Ooh, yeah. Nice. There we go. And this should be my stun. Stun, just like that. Lycan. Choo, 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 choo. Boom. Into Arena. That's another freeze, just like that. Just like that, chat. Just like that. I'm not even doing this live. There's no chat. There's no chat, bro. And just for the sake of it, I'm gonna pop her ult because I want her to have more fuel time. I want her to be able to do more. And this should be it. GG. Now I'm gonna show you guys the difference in the score. Ignore the S rank, ignore the A rank, even though, you know, I cleared it within the time limit. So you're going to see that you're going to see the S rank pop up anyway. So that's completely irrelevant to what we're going on. Look at this. Look at the difference. Jane has a rating of 1800, almost 1900, but Seth and Yanagi have 100 or less, right? Yanagi has 24 points on the board. Seth has 100. But if you look at the second team where I did a lot of swapping, I tried to give a lot of people field time and do what they wanted to do. Ellen has almost 1400. Lycan has about 1350, and then Rena has almost 800 points on the board. Why is that important? These points allocate based on who's performing and doing what on your team during that moment. So when you see someone clearing, you see all these clears and you're like asking like, dang, what did I do wrong? What's going on? If your stuff isn't averaged out, then you're giving too much to someone else, right? When you have this whole hyper carry setup and you're like, oh, I only need to focus on my Zhu Yuan. She's the only one that matters. I only have to focus on my Ellen. She's the only one that matters. And your score is 2000, but everyone else's score is 5. That means you're not playing the team correctly. And I don't say that to like, I'm the Messiah, I'm better than everybody. No, I'm telling you, the game is straight up telling you that you're not playing this team. You are playing one character. Where you have 3 characters on your team, they should all be performing or at least helping to perform. And that's how you get the faster clears. If you look at someone who's playing with M0s, right? M0 S1 or S0, whatever the case may be, and they're doing these crazy fast clears to the point where like they're smoking something in 30 seconds to a minute. Everyone is about rounded out. Maybe the DPS character has like 300 points higher or up to 500 points higher because of course they're doing the damage in that one burst window. But the stuns, that's the stunner. The supports, that's the support, or the secondary, you know, anomaly character, whatever the case may be. All of this stuff is important to you understanding more about the game, how to play the game, how to play your team, whatever the case may be. And then going back to what I showed you guys with the tactics is helping teach you how to rotate out, who needs what, how to pay attention to the anomaly meters, what's going on with this, who has what buff, things like that. Everything that should have been taught to you at the beginning of the game is, and I get it, that's the bad part. I never said the bad part. The bad part of the game is they don't teach you that stuff in the game the way that they should teach it to you. And now we have it in the game after like a patch or two where it's a completely different mode. It's a whole different training course. And like, I appreciate it. It's really good. It's a really good training course to give you guys a brief rundown of whatever's going on. But it does suck because it's completely out of your way, and most players just aren't going to go out of their way to do that. But that's kind of the gist of what I wanted to like wrap up into everybody's head here, is that Zenless is a game that you can have a ton of fun with. All right, maybe I should have said a fork ton because, you know, censor word, but you can have so much fun in the game with Zenless, whether or not you're mashing or not. But you have more fun when you understand that, like, there's a method to the madness. When you're having fun mashing, you have to understand why you're mashing and what you're mashing. And when you understand it, everything just clicks, bro. I promise you. Like, I'm not gonna steer anybody wrong in the whole, you know, learn the tech behind the game or get better at the game for whatever. No, bro. Learn why things happen the way they do. Even with what is it, the freaking, I'll show you guys, because y'all really loved it in the Harumasa guide, and I didn't think it was that much of a call out, but apparently it was. Let me show y'all something that I spoke about in the Harumasa guide, why I run certain disk drives compared to everybody else running, you know, some other disk drive. Yeah, I run 4-piece this, and then you can see that I was testing the anomaly, so we're just going to take that away real quick and then give that thunder metal. I only have 1 piece. It's on my Nicole because it's not for her, so it's whatever. I run 4-piece hormone punch. Why? Because of the whole, upon entering combat or switching in, its user attack increases by 25% for 10 seconds. Why would I need that when I could just give him the 4-piece thunder metal and, you know, he's gonna have a 28% attack increase? And I explained it to you guys in the video because this is unrealistic to the way that you're supposed to play Harumasa optimally. No one on the field is shocked long enough for him to be able to take advantage of that unless you're playing him on a mono electric team. And then at that point, you're actually not utilizing the most of what he should be doing because he doesn't have anything to proc off of. He's just using shock and everything else, but he doesn't have anyone else's strong anomaly features or strong anomaly that he can proc some disorders with. So at that point, you're not running the anomaly percent, you're running attack percent, right? So now I'm trying to make up for that. But with Hormone Punk, it's free. I'm playing him as a quick burst character. He comes out, he does damage, he leaves the field. Every time he comes in the field, 25% attack increase. Now I'm rotating so that I'm always on this 20-second, like every 20 or so seconds, I know this buff is gone. But for 10 seconds, I have this buff, right? So it's pretty much every 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds, I'm rotating this character in or out so that he has the buff or doesn't have the buff. When he doesn't have the buff, guess what I'm doing? I'm shooting my arrows. I'm putting the orbs on the field. Why am I doing that? Because I'm keeping track, like mentally, and, you know, there's a word that I'm thinking of. I can never think of words on the spot. You have a thing. Muscle memory. There we go. It's a muscle memory for me to be able to do this stuff mid combo, right? And no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. So obviously I have mess ups. I don't perfect every rotation, but the whole thing about training mode and the fact that you have essentially endless practice against any boss in the game you want, you train yourself to get better at it. That's all fighting games are. That's all action games are. Like Dark Souls, for instance, you teach yourself how to get better at the game by continuously doing it over and over. It's a form of repetition because that's what teaches your body, your mind, everything else how to do something. The same thing applies to any game that you're playing. If you guys understand more about the why that you're doing something instead of the just do it, you yourself will unlock more about the game that you were not aware of. So when y'all are saying attack percent better, anomaly trash, fire damage bonus better, electric damage garbage, you need to know why you're saying that. And of course, that was just jokes for the jokey purpose, right? Like, why am I running a fire percent on my Harumasa? And it's strictly for the sake of the video to show you guys the 4-piece bonus stuff. But you get what I'm saying, all right? Understand the why behind it. Not everybody is an expert at the game. Not everybody sits here and studies numbers and data about the game before release or after release or during release. And so I don't expect every single player to understand this stuff. That's why I make the videos that I do, because I want more players to have access to that information so that they're aware of what they can and can't do, what they can think about, what they can, you know, twist and turn for themselves, whatever. At this point, I'm rambling. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. All right, like the video, comment, subscribe. Really just wanted to show you guys all that kind of stuff, all the cool stuff that's coming to the game. I can't think of another thing in my head. I really can't think of another video that would show all this stuff off. I can't say my usual outro because it's inappropriate for YouTube. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Smell you later.